are excited at the thought. Yeah, South Hacker bringing out the Elise. For AL, they're going to keep it stock and standard. Going to go straight towards the Vi. I wonder if they'd want to follow up and just, once again, pick up an early Aphelios pick for Betty. There's so many champions that can go with it. If they do decide to go with the Xayah, be a bit perplexed. Even the Rakan, I think, makes a bit of sense, because not only are you setting up for potentially being able to run that duo again, but again, it's also takeaway from Chocho. Not only Chocho's most played champion this split, but historically, this has always been Chocho's champion. So I do like that they decided to just go with it again. Leaves a possibility for an Aphelios, leaves a possibility to go with the Xayah. So a lot of things still on the table for AL.
And also great dive buddies, right? The Rakan alongside that Vi both can go in. Instant lock-ins, though, from FPX with a Tristana and a Ksante to answer. Curious if that will be a Tristana towards the mid lane, or maybe just an aggressive bottom lane to try and take on this Rakan.
Lwx hasn't played the split yet to where Care has. You'd expect it to be mid, I think, especially with the Elise, it signals for that, because just a very strong mid jungle to do a lot of burst damage set up between them. But when I think of Lwx historically, I think of a more aggressive lane. I think of someone who wants to play on the front foot. Lucian always being a champion that comes to mind when I think of him, which is, you know, fairly banned out by anyone's legend for that. But on the opposite side, we are going to get the Ahri coming through. So if Care and Hacker, assuming that they're piloting that duo, don't get a lead, just an assassin into a marksman, right? There will always be some threat on you post 6 once the Spirit Rush is there. And another great champion at just being able to follow up on what Vi has to offer.
Caitlyn taken off the board. I was thinking of Kai's. Oh, God, man. Hang on, I'm going to cough.
Okay, you cough as I take over. I was thinking of, yeah, I think you were going to say Kaisa.
I think of Kaisa for Lwx because he played a lot of Kaisa.
He did. Kaisa, again, Kaisa and Lucian. I'm thinking back to that 2019 run of what comes. Kaisa has been like niche.
Yeah.
Has been a pick we've seen a little bit of.
I feel like we've been teased with it, right?
Yeah.
Where it looked like it was going to come right into the meta. It looked like it was going to start being a popular pick, but that's never really followed through. But hey, still space for it today, because Nautilus taken off the board here, but you could go with like Leona to set up the case.
He's trying to sell this as actually,
priority
out of the two of them, Betty's played more of it the split 3 games. 4th most played of the split. Xayah now being taken away. Aphelios still left open, so you do still have that potential to be there for them. And then looking at FPX, who also just need a bot lane. Again, you assume this Tristana to stay in mid, so if they go the Aphelios, hell, maybe even showing they know what FPX are going to angle for, and thinking Varus could be something that comes through, even though Lwx hasn't played it all that much, hasn't been one of these people. I think of like Ruler, who really leaned into the Varus pick for this split. Of course, Lwx still has the ability to play it.
So the Aphelios comes through once more. Aphelios versus Jinx. It would be a classic down in that bottom side. You could maybe even go for the Thresh at this point, just to protect your Jinx.
And another champion that I think Chocho works really well on if they did decide to go it.
Oh.
This would be something that I haven't seen in quite a while.
This would be beautiful after SwordArt getting away from Chocho, flashing the Tahm Kench emote in the previous game. Chocho's like, you want Tahm Kench? I'll give you Tahm Kench.
I mean, and hell, not only the Rakan, the Charm coming out from the Ahri, the Engage from the Vi. I mean, so many useful CC tools to be able to save Lwx from, you know, on the side for FPX. Now AL looking where they want to go with the top lane pick. Now Jax not being up, they are just going to end up going with the Gwen in the end. So FPX setting themselves up for, I'd say, a more coherent 5v5 that isn't as reliant on them finding like map control to be able to force fights on their own terms. They have great DPS Jinx, a champion that was buffed on this patch, and we've seen her come out a few times already, typically up against Azeri, but again, going up against the Aphelios, it is like a tried and true matchup. You have a lot of pressure coming out from mid jungle, to where AL, I feel like it's pretty much just like last game. Your composition does a lot of things pretty well. You have the long range pick able to come out. You have solid 5v5 if Betty can go untouched. And you have a front line there, Gwen and Vi, going to be able to hold down the reins.
Tony Beef.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Rump.
We got, wait.
I know Jordan loves a rump.
Wait. FPX also maybe loving some action down towards that bottom side. Not going to be able to find it, though. Yeah, Chocho assert dominance. You know, there actually is a lot of the line. When you're playing up against a former teammate, it's personal. It's real. When you're Chocho right now, because again, I'm just going to assume that AL picked up SwordArt and, you know, elected to not renew Chocho because big name player, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of recent performance and recent history, it just feels like it would, I could logically see that they do that. So Chocho having a lot to prove in taking down his former bot lane partner, his former team overall.
I suppose the logic as well on picking up SwordArt would be you want a leader. You want a shot caller. You want a guy that's going to call things out. Pins will be the one calling things out right now as he watched everyone walk into the jungle. AL have this surrounded, but they are just straight up outnumbered, so I don't really know if they can pull this off. Trying to get a bit of harass down before the laning phase, but that will still just be blue buff taken by Hacker. There's heavy trading already in the top lane.
Saw there last time, Tahm Kench was August 22nd.
Xiaohao is making a beeline towards these wolves. Hacker, no smite available, and he just bails. The wolves will reset though, so Xiaohao won't be able to get him either. Or at least won't be able to get him yet. But nice to deny the invade here.
Oh, and even going to be managed to catch him on the way back. So we're going to see a bit of a lead come out for Xiaohao in terms of how much faster he's going to be able to get through his jungle. Now having done 2 camps already, to where Hacker having to path back to his red buff is going to be waiting on to be able to get there. And you can see for FPX maintaining control of the bot wave so far. I wonder if Xiaohao is going to look for an early opportunity in that matchup.
An attempt from Cat onto Pins here. We'll get that bomb off as well. Xiaohao now moving towards this bottom side. Has 3 camps under his belt. Has both buffs. Oh, sorry, has just the red buff. And it's a double knock-up out from SwordArt. Beautifully done. And the prediction on Lwx's flash as well from Xiaohao. Beautiful little gank at the bottom side. And then Tahm Kench comes out at Tahm Kench.
And we expected it, right? We saw him on that crop. I'm surprised FPX didn't read it better, because they clearly knew he was there, right? Hacker running away from him when he was on the Wolves. Not wanting to go with it, but we see here maybe, okay, just looking to go take away the blast cone. I was going to say, Ahri even incredibly healthy in mid, so even if they had a wave, I don't think anything would have really been possible there. You can see Hacker wants to make something happen, wants to at least deny any information that AL can have around this mid lane.
Yeah, I guess he's going for that scuttle crab, but equally, I feel like he could have just done chickens in the meantime. As Cat continuing to put massive pressure down in this mid lane. Kenzie not having a fun time of it in the early game. Hacker really wants this play towards mid. Cat pushing in. Minion wave is going to ruin everything though. Can't find a QuiQiu through those minions.
I do gotta say though, Hacker spending all this time trying to make something happen, like hasn't even made his way up towards top side yet. You hit on it, hasn't even taken his Raptor, so now it's being counter jungled away by Xiaohao. FPX knew Xiaohao was on the bottom side of the map when this play happened, trying to get the wave in, and then it's SwordArt setting it up with a knock. Great flash coming out from Xiaohao to make sure that Lwx goes down with the prediction. And then the top Kench emo really being the thing that seals the deal.
SwordArt is one of my favorite players. I don't care what anyone else says. I love that guy. Fearness in all kinds of trouble here. Denies the knock-up and actually playing this really well. ZDC, full side of the play. Pull back available for Fearness, but he's got no mana.
Now ZDC is going to need to be careful. Fearness might not have any mana himself, but just a lot of pressure going to be up on the table. The thing I want to highlight still is just that jungle advantage. Xiaohao taking away those camps in that top side. Also a ton of vision. So they're going to get information down once Hacker eventually makes his way up towards that top side, which will then give some freedom to Betty and SwordArt to try and play more aggressively. Might even give a timing for Xiaohao, but problem is, you kind of got to wait for ZDC to go for its back, so I think it's good he's going now because it opens up for Xiaohao to just path down back towards the bot side and then play with the window if you see Hacker on those top side wards. But Hacker still not going up towards his top side. So
Hacker doesn't believe in the top side. You know how when kids start growing up, they stop believing like Mr. Santa Claus, that kind of thing. Well, Hacker, when he hit the tender age of 40, he stopped believing in the top side in League of Legends. And,
I always love when teams do that, or even the opposite, like old IG. When IG got Puff in Southwind and they never went bot, and they were like, what is a bot lane?
And especially in that example, I can understand why, because you've got the Shy just sprinting it in the top side. And somebody's got to put that fire out.
Yeah, Rookie and Ning were always up, and hell, that was an actual successful split for them, both regular seasons of 2020. Now, though, we'll see if it can be a successful regular season of 2023, with ING still technically in playoff contention. Not technically, literally are in playoff contention. There's nothing technical about it.
I mean, that's kind of technical. Right? You're getting serious with that one. All out comes out from Fearness to set up for Hacker, who now believes in the top side. He's read a book and he's gone up. And now with Venomous Bite there, Fearness finished the kill off. Beautiful stuff.
Finally finding an avenue to make something happen. Hacker has really been angling around these lanes for quite a while, trying to find a gank. Really putting a lot of emphasis, especially in this mid lane that we saw earlier on. Care has been able to maintain a CS lead, which is what you'd expect when you pick a Tristana. That is where a lot of your power lies. It is now, though, when people like Pinzy get Spirit Rush online and these ults are coming out, where Care and FPX overall are going to be under more threat. LWX should be fine, especially as him and Chocho get closer to the level 6 mark. But here we see the ability for the train back to come on through and potentially long-range engage. Always on the table.
It certainly is. Expect to be taken here by anyone's legend. And that'll be a nice little advantage for them off the back of the fact that they knew Hacker was up on the top side. He's going to go for Xiaohao's Krugs to make up for the top side that he lost earlier on in the game. But a slow and steady one, as he realistically would have expected with this kind of draft, right? You've got Jinx and Aphelios as your primary carries. Even Gwen, while you can be somewhat aggressive in the laning phase, it's 3 items where you're really going to come online.
Now, once again, ZDZ going to be under pressure.
Naka wants to make it happen again. There's a lot of minions here to deny the cocoon, but I think they might just beat him down anyway. Even giving the kill over to Fearness, never mind, no he's not. Naka grabbing that one. I mean, you quite like to have kills on Elise in the early game. I think that one's fair. Yeah,
and going back to your point about it being slow so far, right? Hackers tried to make things happen or tried to find opportunities that just haven't come up so far. So you would love to keep this momentum going. Will turn into Rift Herald for this top half of the map, especially with no TP on ZDC. So AL wanting to find a response play might be able to open something up in the bot lane. As SwordArt trying to buy so much time.
He's 2v1ing right now. The quickness there. As here comes the gang. Knock-up comes out onto LWX. Pinzy here to finish the job with the Orb of Deception. And that'll be that. Pinzy with a kill onto LWX. Great setup, as you said, by SwordArt.
Now I want to see if FPX just drop Herald outright in mid right now. They are. FPX already getting so much done. AL even trying to play around this. They sent Betty to mid since he was coming out for base anyway. But doesn't seem like it's going to mean too much. Turret will just barely survive.
Yeah, that's 4 plays coming through. Pre-Herald nerf, that's a Tahm. They just a plate and a half, though, taken by the Herald Thieves there. It does mean, though, that if Pinzy leaves that mid lane again, Care will finish that tower easily.
Will open himself up a lot of space and freedom. There's potentially just another window to start angling in towards the enemy sides of the jungle.
Yeah, not to mention just a load of gold as well.
Yeah.
Like, taking the first tower by yourself, that's a massive amount of gold.
Already Newton Quiver and Vampiric Scepter in pocket for Care. So not only going to have the sustain that he's been sitting on, but more damage able to come through. And for AL, I wonder if you just keep angling down towards bot lane, because LWX and Chocho have just been playing so aggressive in terms of looking for that push. And sure, you might have the Devour to play with to give yourself some safety, but when you're that far up in lane, and Rakan is so many ways of locking you down, stalling you out for other members to come in, that will just consistently get punished.
Certainly will. Betty trying to set up onto LWX here again, I think. LWX are both summoners, though, same for Chocho. Would be a difficult dive to set up for. Xiaohao gets the red buff. Look at this vision in the jungle as well. Hacker going to use the sweeper. We'll spot one of the wards, but there's 2 more. One at Raptors, one at Krugs.
And he's doing so great of, like, sees him clearing out the ward, knows he's kind of clicking down towards bot side, so then even able to steal away these Raptors. AL just doing a great job of enabling their jungler to do this. Yeah. Even just the tri-brush control we just saw coming out from SwordArt. So pressure so far in top, even if ZDC's gone down a few times. The pressure in bot, pressure in jungle The only place they haven't kept pressure up is in mid, but now Everfrost coming up for PinZ, so those pick opportunities only going to be ever more present.
And now I feel like the answer has come out in terms of vision in that bottom quadrant. In the FPX have about 1 billion zombie wards in that bit of the jungle. If you look at the minimap, it's lit up like a Christmas tree. There's no way Xiaohao's invading that. But then, he already did. There's no camps left, so he's going to be okay with that one. Xiaohao can now return to his own jungle. Feels like a decent start for anyone's legend here, but it's actually FPX that are ahead off the back of those kills on the top side, off the back of those plates in the mid lane.
Exactly.
It's FPX with a significant gold lead.
Yeah, plates in mid. Even when they overextended, they got a plate in bot, they've got plates in top. They really haven't been taking gold ever on the map. Still Mythics being built for AL. We already hit on the Everfrost Miguel for us, also picked up by Betty. For FPX, still just angling to hopefully find something around mid, but PinZ, I'm sorry, never giving them the potential.
Yeah, and with the AD carries as well, it's the difference of having those boots for Lwx to slow down Mythic, but it's so important, Jinx, to have the boots. You're just useless without. Not going to help dodge the knockup though. Grabton comes on in. Bit of Infernum as well. And AL happy with that trade. They got a bit of stuff. They're going to be over the moon with how that one's gone.
Also just wanted to go for the short trade. Now can force out the Devour.
Gale forces their quickness is available, and Lwx pulled in, knocked up Moonlight Vigil, but he flashes out. He's alive. Chocho, next target. He's trying to keep the fight going. Rockets in. SwordArt in all kinds of trouble. Betsy has flash. SwordArt does not.
Packer just going to go in, guarantees himself the kill. Not wanting to keep overextending any further in terms of trying to go onto Betty, knowing the other members of anyone's legend are following up, so they're going to back off in the end. Things look pretty solid from AL with that initial engage, but FPX, great by them to turn it around. AL looks like the team that at least should benefit off the back of low health bars and turn this into a Drake.
Isn't it funny in Yaman League, so often the team that loses the fight ends up getting the objective just off the tempo. Like, FPX have to go for the resets, so still on the
I really like how AL played this in the bot lane. The initial trade that you were hitting on, chunked him out a little bit, then re-engage, look for the all-in. Lwx, I mean, managing to get away, having to do so, but SwordArt, I really like the flash quickness to try to guarantee the burst, and then after it just shows up, jumps with the spider, and then again, knowing members are behind, not wanting to aggress any further.
Yeah, it does feel like AL have, I don't know, maybe I'm biased. It feels like AL have been playing better. And yeah, it feels like FPX are actually the ones getting the lead off the back of everything. Although 2 Drakes for AL. There's a bit of gold value there that's really referred to in the scoreboard as Kench gets gifted over a red buff. Gank in the bottom side, immediately diving on from Xiaohao. PinZ here too. There's one. They want a second one as well. The knock-up set there. Xiaohao with a double ZDZ. Answered though in the top side.
Still 2 kills, 4-1, considering you're making that play towards the top lane. If Betty can get this turret down and match, that would be phenomenal because you have Tristana up at top now, so you expect that top lane tier 1 to go down. Mid lane turret's been sitting quite low, so looks like it should be a trade at the end of the day. And now, with Rift Herald coming back up in 15 seconds, FPX are going to be the team coming back onto the map first, considering, again, their bot lane did die and just going for the reset on the Ksante, but we're going to see here of what comes down. AL wanting to clear this vision, and FPX trying to deny this one, not expecting Fly to be waiting in the wings, so really nice bait play coming to anyone's legend, able to close the gap. PinZ flashing over the wall to guarantee it, and then there it is, denying the Abyssal Voyage, not allowing them to escape. And then, I mean, it's a 3v1. Really, what does ADC do here to survive? It's a great job of trying to clear out the wave first, but you know, it just got numbers diffed.
Just mauled, absolutely mauled. 3 of them there. And now he's molding. Easy, gonna be struggling away, but you know, like you said, not much you can do in that situation. Xiaohao though, looking for Fearness, and hey, they got a ghost out of it. I'll trade a ghost for a Q any day of the week.
They are consciously giving up Rift Herald though. It seems like aware that they don't want to go for a fight just yet. They have those 2 dragons to lean back on that you highlighted earlier, getting more items onto Betty and trying to set him up in the same place he was last time around. Seems like the overall goal. Xiao spending a lot of time here. I don't know if they should be able to find anything off this. Fearness will just leave. But going back to what I was saying about, you know, you're giving time to get your Aphelios fed. Again, there's Tristana, there's Jinx on the opposite side this time around. So it's not like last game where you're maintaining map control, but also making sure that they're never going to have a way to engage on you. No, FPX are the ones in control of the map, and they also do have a really good front to back. They have ways to deal with your pick potential this time with that Tahm Kench. A lot more tools on the table.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one when we get to the late game. Honestly, I feel like both teams finding themselves some kind of advantage, but not necessarily taking the game away just yet. A lot of AD damage on the side of FPX. I feel like that's the one big weakness that they've got right here, where Hacker will fall off later on in the game. And it just means that, you know, Xiaohao can build all of those pseudo-tank armor items.
I will say, to be fair, at least damage-wise, you don't really fall off. It's just the way your champion operates. You are like a squishy champion who needs to get...
You need to get better, yeah.
Exactly. That makes it very hard. But
I would argue that that means her damage does fall off.
True.
She can't
just by default, you can't do your job as well, yeah.
Not necessarily that the numbers aren't there, just that, like you say, play pattern-wise, needs to live up to his name here. Will do so. Gets out to safety. 50 seconds on the Drake.
AL gonna be the ones at least having control of this side of the map with the bot lane push they've been able to maintain. What we've seen for FPX, it's not about the bot lane. It's about maintaining and winning the standoff in mid, considering you have those Jinx rockets able to come out and pretty much just instantly clear those waves. If you factor in Fearness pushing this out and maybe starting to lean down towards bot, now you not even have to consider the TP, I feel like that would put FPX in a really great position to finally pick their first Drake up.
Or at very least fight for it. I don't know if AL will let it go without a fight. So reset comes out from Fearness here, both top lanes with those TPs. LPX trying to get a bit of poke down. Mid-tier 1 will fall. Betty on the red and white guns right now is the TP from Fearness to keep the Herald alive, to keep that pressure going in the mid lane, but will just be taken down immediately after the fact. The wave cleared here just in time for Drake as AL have to try and find a way into this river.
Yeah, we need to keep our eyes on Xiaohao because this time I don't think SwordArt should be as freely able to just go in himself. It is going to be the back off of Xiaohao, ulting you, following up, and then going with that quickness to get on top of Lwx and Care, especially at this point in time. So Xiaohao and SwordArt, the ones to look out for.
TP comes in, and ZDC just annihilated.
Oh, it was actually PinZ.
Oh, it's what?
They went for TPs in different places. PinZ TP'd in mid. That was such a questionable TP, and now ZDC TPing in for nothing. They're not going to be able to go back to answering waves. I mean, yeah, that does give a first Drake over. I
feel like that as a TP, if you're a top laner, I can vaguely understand the logic. It's still a bad TP, but as an Ahri, like, yeah, what were you expecting your team to do there? Like, they would need some next level heroics to keep you alive.
PinZ still a very new player. We will give him the criticism, but also the, hey, we get it, you're new. These mistakes are going to come through FPX now, though. Trying to angle for something bot, but they open up air.
Yeah, this could be dangerous, honestly. Going for a dive on this one. Hacker just locked down and taken down. Rocket comes through, but it's not enough. As Care trying to get onto the tower here. Perhaps a little too greedy on this one. Buffers his jump, so he doesn't get knocked up here. Knocks back Xiaohao as well to deny the CC. They're still going the all-out onto Xiaohao. SwordArt tries to save his jungler. PinZ back into the fray, but it's a kill for Fearness in the meantime. Lwx moving over as well. AL, they've got to get out of dodge. A great charm on Fearness, but the heal comes through. ZDZ will fall and Care walks away as well. FPX getting away with murder.
I feel like FPX have no right to win that skirmish. Key difference makers being just how much time it took, so Chocho and Lwx are both able to arrive. Betty was still in base, so he just manages to walk back to mid. We're going to go all the way back, though. I mean, do we really not know why AL lost this fight? Do we really not understand? They actually get choppers coming down. PinZ TP's in, goes down himself. And then here, again, it looks so confusing with Hacker just being so disconnected from his team. No one able to follow up, so they get the initial engage off onto him. Pick comes out, and then wanting to follow up because right now they have a 3v2. Look at the minimap. PinZ is also following to get here, but Chocho in the same vein, gonna get here. It's gonna take so much time with the sidestepping coming through. Fearness really separating the fight with his ulti. Chocho able to get in there and devour care. To where look at the minimap. Again, Jinx able to come through to where the Aphelios wasn't top, had to go for the recall, and then right there, heal being the difference maker for Fearness. Care.
It's the fact that they both got away on 1 HP.
Yeah.
But also, like, if AL just go for Fearness instead of trying to chase for care there, it's just a guaranteed kill.
It is.
You walk away, but wanted both. Didn't factor in. Chocho was going to enter the fray. And like you say, save Care's life. So.
And Lwx joining in to save heal.
Yeah.
Both coming in clutch to make sure they don't go down.
Giga Chad bot lane from FPX. Double supports. Pix really didn't add any damage though. I guess he rocketed about half an hour ago.
And he gave his heal, which again, I feel like maybe Fearness still wouldn't, like it would have been dicey. It would have been, if Fearness escaped from that, he would have escaped at like the same amount of HP that Care did, but at least it's giving him the buffer to definitely get away. Now sitting on the huge power spike of the double null magic mantle.
Wow, yeah, that is.
Whew.
Well, PinZ, ZDZ, you thought you could hit him before. You probably still can. I mean, it's not the best MR item, but he's on the way to the best MR item, and that's what counts. He does still have that Jack show as well. I mean, he's going to be hard to kill, no matter what. He's in trouble. He'll get out, though. Xiaohao off on a flank. Feels like AL want to fight right now.
Look,
Baron up on the map.
I'm going to set this up for the potential caster curse that we all need. We knew this was going to be a 3-game series. We 100% knew that whichever team lost was going to come back. There is no way FPX loses this if they go for a Baron right here. AL has no chance.
Also, there's absolutely no way that FPX just burger flip this Baron for no reason right now. There's just no chance that that will happen.
There's no way.
Stop DPS and turn to fight instead. Launch back away. Another great TP here. This time ZDZ though is immune because he is Gwen.
You know, I really think that FPX shouldn't go for that Baron again. FPX, wink, please.
I just want shenanigans, Lyric. I just want chaos. Dragon is coming up though in 35 seconds, so Xdan will resets and get over to that side of the map.
They are doing it! Let's go, FPX! They instantly go on towards it. I guess expecting the resets to come out. Reset did come out from Betty, but Xiaohao still in the area.
Yeah, they've got a ward in, 4K on the Baron. They're going to flip it. They're just going to flip it. They go in, hack against it, and now the dive comes out from anyone's legend. 1 kill. Can they find more? Care, next target, flashes over, puts his support, and will be saved. Hacker, though, left at the back of the fight and taken down. Double kill comes out for PinZ as Fearness tries to escape. Chocho saving his mid laner. 3 strong for FPX, Dragon on the map.
Xiaohao smiting way too early, still coming out with 2 kills. If they can deny a Dragon and get the Dragons for themselves, then there is still hope of AL playing for that soul, playing for things like Elder. But for now, being wary, FPX using the Baron to keep up pressure in mid lane, trying to make it so AL can't just go and take it for free. They're going to manage to sneak in and just cheekily take away this red buff.
Yeah, so they'll get something as well as that Baron. Oh, no. Okay, it's too early. And it missed anyway.
One of the buffs that Jinx did get on this patch was the cap the Rocket does on monsters going up. So, you know, a bit more potential there for the steal. Still not like what it was in the old days, but a bit more as we see here. Going into the steal, wanting to try and sync it up, and I guess playing around like the charge and the Tristana, but smiting way too early coming out from Xiaohao, but able to follow up with the kills. Care manages to get away with the Devour being in pocket, but then Hacker coming back does manage to get picked away.
Yeah, trying to make it happen. 7-7 on the scoreboard. A 5,000 gold lead for FPX. And with Baron in hand, general wisdom, you lose 2 players, it's still worth getting that Baron. In terms of actual gold values, in terms of how much you can pressure the map. The question is, can Care survive long enough to pressure the map? The Gravitum is there. Xiaohao moving in as well with his ultimate. But the knockback onto Betty means the damage is there. Moonlight Vigil! Not quite enough. So close to a pick on Care. That's 3 ultimates.
I really can't believe they weren't able to get it done. The CC chain was there, the damage was coming out, but just not being enough to sustain. coming out from Care. I'm not quite sure, but you would assume it was probably shielded with the Bloodthirster coming in as well, or felt like he should have gone down. But the ulti, sending the Aphelios away, really paying in dividends. Now Care TPing towards the bot lane, just enable the push for FPX.
Tahm's just going to go down and no answer from AL here. And, you know, the TP coming to the bottom side, that's off of the fact he was forced back by AL's play in that mid lane. Pinzy trading some help with Hacker. Lwx now pressuring in the mid lane. And Jinx loves this situation. Jinx loves the siege. Hacker to blast those rockets at the towers. AL, it feels like their time is numbered. They've got to make something happen to deny this. Again, Bramble full fall off now. 3 minutes until that Drake, which really is their window.
Look, AL need to make their last moments count much. We need to know what their last meal is going to be. How good it is, we can give it a rating out of 10.
Like, let's be real here. Care knocked back, knocked up. Jojo saves the day, but Hacker down. Care low on HP as Gale Force comes in. LWX taken out by the needlework. And AL, they make their last seconds count, Lyric. They ace FPX.
They made FPX their last meal. That came out of nowhere. I thought, we even saw Pinzy being the first one to start getting chunked out when that skirmish happened. They're going to start barreling down through mid. I don't think they have anywhere near enough time to end. 20 seconds, less than, on members like Hacker, on members like Chocho, on LWX. But looks like they're still going to go for it. At the very least, going to be able to guarantee this inhibitor.
Yeah, Inhib definitely going to be taken here, and they will back away. Okay, I think smart decision there, but what a play from AL.
5K gold, now brought in touching distance of 2K. And hell, they're the team, sitting on Soul. Yeah. So much burned by both sides going into that next Dragon fight. A lot of their ults and key cooldowns should be up, but things like flashes, things like ghosts, to keep an eye on, but here it is. Engage coming through again. Pinzy's one who initially gets kind of chunked, but it's that lockdown on the and then the Elise. I'm not quite sure how Hacker put himself in that position being locked down, but SwordArt doing so much to lock down LWX. And then kind of seeing this fight after the fact, it's a lot of members of FPX kind of getting picked and chunked one by one. Yeah. Hacker being a bit too far forward. Then Care gets devoured, but it leaves LWX open to get chunked down. Then Care comes out of the Tahm Kench.
It goes back to that we had early on today. We're looking for coordination from both of these teams. That was a coordinated fight from AL. You can't say the same for FPX. I do just want to quickly talk about because ZDZ has just finished his third item off the back of that fight. Like, we're getting to the late game stage where Gwen really is a teamfight terror.
Able to deny a lot of what's coming through from FPX with the damage. But again, Dragon fight, 45 seconds, no flash will be available for LWX, but at least he is a Tahm Kench. On the opposite side, you don't have that same leeway as Betty. Betty won't have flash available, and again, like, you have some feeling in the sense that, like, SwordArt with the quickness are going to be going in, buying space, but you have to be careful. Same tool's not there, but for AL, we saw it's able to work, but I feel like if FPX play more coordinated, more cohesive, they're playing as a 5-man unit.
ZDZ is stuck alone in the bottom side. Hacker flanking here, but with the Shroud, ZDZ should be fine. Hacker just misses anyway. The needlework coming up through. ZDZ just commits the fight because he knows his team is on the way. Big damage onto Fearness here as Xiaohao's got 2 teams. SwordArt behind enemy lines with the quiz, looking to set up the pick onto Care. It's massive from SwordArt. Pinzy trying to finish the job as well. Double kill, another knock of Fearness, and Hacker sent back in. Chocho alone, and Xiaohao will happily finish that kill. AL, look, that's TPing mid.
They're just going for the end. They're just going to look to win the game right here. Look at Betty chasing them down in the bot lane, denying the recalls, and this should be it. We said there was no way FPX should be able to throw much. We said it wasn't going to be a curse, but it was.
In 3 minutes, they've gone from 5K down with a Baroned up team pushing them in the base to hitting Nexus towers. ZDZ with another. Betty onto the Nexus here as Fearness desperately tries to defend, but there's nothing he can do. Betty won't as kill, and AL look fantastic in this series. What a way to take a win.
I gotta be honest, I came into today thinking, I'm not going to be invested in this. There's no stakes in this matchup. Both these teams are out. These are our 2 bottom teams. You get invested in. Surprising, pretty solid series. 2 games. Again, no one tried to curse that last game. I throw that one out there, but yeah, that comeback from AL, superb. This team. Again, we just need to see it when it matters. We need to see it when the games count. And sure, you can look at it and say, you know, even coming in, maybe you could have said AL was a better team than FPX. Like, they're sitting literally the bottom 2. We hadn't seen them play yet. We didn't know who was the better squad, but looking comfortably better game 1, especially for game 2. I'll always say it. I think there is some stock you can put in comeback wins / like throws from other teams, because that's like a very hard skill to be able to practice. And like usually in scrims, like going back to my days as a coach, right? You talk about how to prevent the things that went wrong.